have said these things to you that you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation. Not might have tribulation, will have tribulation. But take heart, I have overcome the world. So real quick, guys, just think about that. Think about what Jesus is actually saying here to the disciples who actually gave up their entire lives, walked away from their fishing career, walked away from, the families that they might have had, to follow Christ. And here Christ is going to leave them alone. He's going to die. He's telling them that they're going to be scattered. He's telling them that they're going to have tribulation. He's telling them that they are going to throw you out of the church. And then he's telling them that these people are going to kill you. And not only that, but these people, when they kill you, they are going to be thinking that they are doing the work of God. They're going to be thinking that they're doing my will when they kill you. What a difficult thing. Think about that. Difficult thing for the disciples to hear. What a difficult thing for the disciples to have heard. And then, interestingly, I would look back and I would just say, what exactly did Jesus say? What was Jesus telling us? And everything that he was saying was, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the vine. I am your hope. I am your rock. I am what you stand on. It's me alone. He wasn't trying to make the tribulations go away. He wasn't telling them that I was going to fix all of these problems and, you follow me and your life is going to be great. You do the things that you need to do and all your problems are going to go away. He was just saying, do these things. Know that these things are coming. But know that when the world stands against you, I have overcome the world. I have overcome the world. But I do. God, I give. I've sacrificed so much. I help with feeding the poor. I help with the sick. I give. I give. I give. And God, it goes on and on and on. And then finally, folks, I have to ask myself, why am I doing this? Why do I do this? And here are some of the things that I thought about. This is especially for me. So I'm preaching to myself as much as I am with you guys. This is what we need to do to get into heaven. If I want to go to heaven, this is the kind of life I need to lead. And because I believe that is why I need to sacrifice. Now, folks, let me say that none of this has anything to do with the gospel, okay? But this is what we think sometimes. This is what I think sometimes. If I want to have happiness here on earth, the best way for me to do this is to be as good as I possibly can, because God wants to bless good people. If I work hard, I don't cuss, I don't get drunk, I don't listen to, Fergie on the radio, then God is going to bless me. Sometimes I think that. I gotta be good, because right now I really feel like I really want God to accept me. I want God to believe in me. I want God to look down upon me, and I want Him to smile at me. And because I want Him, and because I need His acceptance in my life, I'm going to do whatever I need to do. I will sacrifice. I won't listen to, I'll read, bad books. I'll read Christian books, won't go to fun parties, all that stuff. Sometimes I even get this way, where I feel like that spiritual Christian pride gets into my life, and it's like, you know what? I need to be like this, because I definitely don't want to be like those losers who reject God. I don't want to be like those horrible people that do bad things. I don't want to be classified in that. I even take pride in that too, sometimes in traffic. I don't know if you guys do this too, but man, it's like somebody cuts me off or something happens and he gives me the finger and he gives me that look, and it's just like you're sitting there and you're driving and it's like, yeah, well, you know what? You're probably not saved, and because you're not a Christian, I'm definitely not telling you about the gospel, so you know where you're going to go. I think about that kind of stuff, Sometimes that spiritual pride will get into my life, and I want to be better than the other people. And here's another one. Sometimes we have to do these things. We have to sacrifice so that God will be happy with us. And if God is happy with me, then He's going to hear me when I ask Him for something. That He's going to hear my prayer. That He's going to answer my prayer. Because I've been doing so good. And I know that this is not the gospel. Since April of this year, I have been preaching to you every week. We've all been preaching about the truth of the gospel. And how everything that I have just said there is things that's contrary to what the gospel represents. Because God accepts you no matter what you do, because you are His child. That God hears your prayer. Every single time you pray, He hears you. He said it in His Word, before you call, I will answer. All of these things have nothing to do with the gospel, but we constantly fall back to this. So even when we want to do good in our lives, folks, we end up doing the wrong things with the wrong motives and making Jesus become a means to an end. Now this is a serious thing, and I've been kind of, messing around with you and kind of poking fun at it, but this is a serious thing, and let me tell you why. Because here it is, our wake-up call, Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 to 23. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do mighty works in your name? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. This is a sobering passage for me. Every time I read it, it wakes me up, and I get very terrified and I get afraid. Why? The reason is because these people who are talking to Christ, they think that they're Christians. Again, just like Jesus was talking about here in chapter 16, that these people were killing the disciples and killing the apostles. And they thought they were doing it, and they were going to think that they were doing it for God. That this was a good thing. I know that this is a good thing. We've got to get rid of these people. And they're going to believe that it's a good thing. That these people believed that the things that they were doing was a good thing. And I had to ask myself this question all the time. Well, Shane, when you walk to the gates of heaven and you walk up to Christ, and Christ looks at you and says, you know what? I never knew you. What am I going to say? If I truly understand the truth of the gospel, there is nothing I can say. But if we believe that it is by things that we do, by the works that we have done, then we're going to look at Him and we're going to do the same things. We may not say these kinds of things like prophesy in your name, cast out demons in your name, do mighty works in your name. But if He says, Shane, I never knew you, I'm going to be like, what? I stopped listening to bad music for you. I stopped watching bad movies for you. I gave so much money to the church, I did that for you. I didn't smoke marijuana my whole life, and I did that for you. I did all of these things for you. You see where I'm going at? Why is it that we come to Christ? What did Jesus say? This was what's in common between the two people here. People here in Matthew chapter 7 and the people here that He's talking about that were killing the disciples. And they thought that they were doing it for God. Jesus says that the things that they have in common is they did not have a relationship with Him. I'll say that again. They did not have a relationship with Him. In Matthew chapter 7, Jesus says, I never knew you. And here it is in chapter 3. And they will do these things, or in verse 3, and they will do these things because they have not known the Father nor me. Now that's a lot that I just gave you guys tonight. But let me help you guys with one thing. Because some of you guys may be asking, well, I don't know if I do that or not. Sometimes I get confused myself whether I'm doing it or not. And I know like 2 weeks ago I talked to you guys about, making Jesus a means to an end. That Jesus shouldn't be a means to an end. He shouldn't be the thing that we use in order to accomplish our goal. And so, you know what? Some people didn't get that. But let me tell you it this way. This way I think is easier for me to understand, and it'll be easier for you. Is Jesus the one who will make your dreams come true? Or is He your dream come true? Let me say that again. Is Jesus the one who will make your dreams come true? Or is He your dream come true?